Hello again. Let's continue learning sick. We went through all the language reference or learning. Yeah, the website we found on the official page. Let's open a new window, and I think it was this one. The only issues with this is that we only have up till 0.14, and currently we have huge changes with the 0.15. So we kind of have to address this. There it is. Sorry, just had to get the moderator window open. So I think we should go back to this one, as we have the language reference right here, and it actually covers 15.2, which is the one we were using, right? So if we go here and just, not version, but version 0.15.2. So we have some discrepancies between the ways of doing things. There was a lot of updates to the way we are doing I/O. So I would kind of dive into that one this stream. Just try to set up input and output to the console. So I would create a new project. We have filled this one with a lot of examples. Yeah, so maybe we should just create a new, call it first project. Nope. First project, and then go into first project, and then it was sick in it. And then we can go into, we can do the sick build, and we can do a out binary first project. All your code base all belong to us. So yeah, now we have a clean new project. Let's open it. There it is. Completely clean project. And it uses standard debug print. But if you want to do some input output, let's start with output and see if we can figure out how to do the standard output in the new version of sick. Come on, be helpful here. Thank you. Do we have some IO here? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, that's a lot of built-in functions. Oh, they have math functions built directly into the language. That's a different approach. There's no direct IO descriptions. No, because this is the language itself. It's not how to use it. Let's see if we can find some standard library documentation, maybe? Yeah, IO. Readers, writers, writer. And there's no code examples, so we just have a writer. So we have, let's just see if we can do a std IO. It's there, a writer. So let's make a writer. Does it need anything? What does it need? Oh. An output writer. I don't expect we can just use it right out of the box. No, it doesn't. Can we do something else with it? No. Then what can we do with a writer? How to instantiate a writer? We have a lot of things we can do with a writer. There's a print. This is, yeah, a print version, which takes a pointer to a writer, renders FMT string and formatted strings with arguments. Call writer with slices of bytes. If writer returns an error, the error is returned from format and writer is not called again. Okay. So we do have a print. This isn't the easy way. The easy way is to call, look up on Stack Overflow how to do this, and then we're done. Right now, I just wanted to see if we could do something like this. So we also do we need? Yeah, we do need a buffer, and that could be. And then again, how was it? It was, I want an array of U8s. And I want a size of, let's say, 1 kilobyte. Or was it the other way around? It doesn't look like it. So we are not using buffer, we are not using output writer. Does that need a pointer to this one? It's quite annoying that I don't get any code completion on this one. I feel like I'm not instantiating it as I should. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, overhaul of understanding the new read and writer. No thanks. Oh, close. Oh, it's not in the IO anymore. That's what they talked about. Yeah, I saw some YouTube videos about this, and apparently they want to handle everything as files, just like on Linux, where everything is considered a file. So I was kind of close. We're just gonna copy this one. Let's grab it all. So we have the buffer, just as I did. I just didn't set it equal to undefined. I just set it equal to this. I'm just gonna test if that matters. Apparently it doesn't. Let's open the console. Why don't I have a console down here? A terminal, new terminal. Thank you. Try to build it. No. Must be const or comp time. Why? We are using it, so why does that matter? Oh, oops. But it does matter. Okay. So we have a buffer, and we get this writer from standard file system file stdout. So that's the idea, is that you can just swap out these writers and get it to write to whatever you want. And it takes a buffer, and the buffer is used to write to this output. It automatically flushes if the buffer is full or there's no more to write. Or does it? Is that why we need this one? Because if the buffer is full, yes, it flushes and continues, but the last one that doesn't fill up the buffer doesn't trigger a flush. So we do the flushing. It's easy to test. If we do a simple test, there are 10. I don't know if it's 11 with the new line. So we're just going to take the 10. And we're going to take this. And we're going to run it again. It writes out everything. But what if we do this? Then it doesn't try to write to the buffer again after it's been full. It still writes it out. So if we create a buffer that is bigger than this, yeah, then it doesn't. So as soon as the buffer is filled, it prints out. If not, we have to make sure that we actually flush the output. That was kind of easy. So the size of this one, I guess that's kind of dependent on what you're using it for. Because every time it's filled, it actually makes a system call. And a system call apparently is very, very slow compared to all other operations. So we want as few system calls as possible, but we don't want to allocate gigabytes just to print out to the screen. So it's a kind of a combination of what you want to do. Do you want to use more memory, or do you want to make more system calls? I would actually like to try, instead of having this, which I understand is just on the stack, right? Isn't this just allocated on the stack? I would like to try to use an allocator for memory. And where are allocators? Where do they live? They live in the standard library under memory, maybe? Memory. Allocator types. Oh, I'm just trying out stuff here. Let's go back to this one and search for, okay, page allocator. Heap. They're on the heap. Just do a page allocator. And then how do we use the heap allocator? Buffer equals allocator. Apparently not this way. Again, need some more information. A simple example would be nice, but I guess that this isn't the way to use it. So again, we have to ask. I would really have loved to just be able to stick to the SIG homepage and get all the information I would ever need right here. And maybe I can, but it's not code examples, maybe. Memory leak detection, no, just there we have how to use an allocator. This is kind of a weird one. Yeah, weird one. Okay. Zigzag. Generic types. Using curl. Oh, that's nice. If you could just do a call to curl from within SIG. Yeah, this was kind of what I was looking for. Got an allocator, arena state allocator. And then where does he use the allocator? General purpose allocator. There they're using the reference std mem allocator. You know what? We are gonna do the same thing again. SIG allocator. This was exactly what I wanted, just those 3 lines. So What did we have? How close were we? Just just to see. So I had the not the page underscore allocator, but page allocator. How should I have known? Oh, the other way around, right? Yeah. So I was wrong up here. It's not that one, it's that one. Allocator. Standard library, heap, page allocator. Then we want some memory. We're gonna call that the buffer. Buffer. And we use the allocator to alloc 100 U8s. And then by we ensure that we deallocate this memory as soon as we go out of this block. But this buffer can now be used. And we're not using this one anymore. So now we're giving this to the writer, and it's going to use this buffer instead. And it doesn't like something. What doesn't it like? U8 not a pointer to U8. So it's not the address, it's just the buffer itself. Yes. And we have ability to write out. As I said, it doesn't matter how big the buffer is. This one will make 10 calls to the system, and this will make 1. So we can write stuff out to the standard output. Can we do a reader? Can we read from the console? Can we do some interaction here? Let's take a look. Just to maybe, yeah, we probably need an allocator for the input as well. Just gonna call it in for everything that has to do with in. Oh, there was some things with comments, right? Hope that doesn't make any difference here. So let's see, should we be naive and just say that we have a standard in reader and we want a reader. It takes a file and a buffer. But I guess that it doesn't need the file because that's the idea of it being itself. Standard out. Reader interface. And then how do we use this to trigger a read alloc, read slice? Fill buffer with next buffer.length bytes from the stream advances the seek position. Maybe? But shouldn't it already know which buffer to use? No, not Rust. Sick. And how old is this? Doesn't say. Let's look at, doesn't even, yeah. The new IO, but that's the IO thread. File reader, no. Standard output, standard input. A reader. Then why couldn't it find reader in the text? Weird. Weird. Reader. Reader interface. Write all. There it is. Take delimiter exclusive. Okay. I don't think I would have guessed the name of that one. Standard in, name. And because we're using the print interface, I'm pretty sure that we can do formatted strings, so we can just hello and then add this one and add the name, right? It compiled. Hello. It actually worked. It does work. So what did we do here? We allocated 100 bytes. What happens if that buffer is too small for this? Are we again going to just do some extra system calls, or are we actually gonna break stuff? Let's just set it to 1 and see what happens. Yeah. What error do we get? We get stream too long. Stream too long. So we have to make sure that this is limited. And how do we do that? This is a try. And how do we catch that try right there and then? Is that a catch? But we can't really write anything yet because we haven't defined the writer. So if we start by doing this, take this, and add up here, we will have the ability to just write, print out stuff, and we can do this afterwards. We can call this results or something. But then we should be able to do this. In the catch, we can do a try to output input can't be longer than, and then we could just read. Can we do the yeah, I have an issue spelling characters, so I'm not sure that's right. I always get it wrong. No, I just wanted this one. Dot len. Let's see if we can do this. No, it didn't compile. Why not? Because we're not doing the catch. Why can't I remember how to catch the error right there when we do a try? I'm pretty sure we went over it on when we went through all the examples. Because I kind of remember it when it's the while loops and so on. I can just catch the error right there and then. But error handling is very different in SIG. So catch keyword, here it is. So we don't need the try if we do a catch. Is that what they're saying? No? Oh, I need to do the... what was this called? Wasn't it called catch? I feel like it's not cooperating here. I'm doing the call that I want to check. I do the catch of the error. Oh, I'm not using I'm not using the error. So if I do like error and say this is a string, new line, and we add the error here. No, not there. There it is. No, still a no-show, no-go, no-go. It doesn't like this one, but it's the exact same. Setting the name to this. If this fails, catch it. Do this. Print out this one. I can't see there should be any errors in there. What am I doing wrong? See, once again, it would be great if there was people in the chat actually capable of just saying you need to add a comma here or something. But I guess that's not something that is currently gonna happen. Maybe in the future, but hopefully in the future I would know myself. Because right now I feel like throwing this at an AI and just ask what is going on. Because this is such a simple task once again. And there's something really basic that is eluding me here. Catching? Can we just take this call and do it right there? Save. Yeah, I know I don't have the... I didn't get this line. Would you please stop being annoying? So we do some name, we do a function, we do something here, we end up, we do the catch, we do the errors, we do the start. Do we need to do this? Why would we ever have to do this? I don't think that is the issue. Right, we already handled the error. No, exactly. Do we have the clear? No, we don't. I just want to be able to see what it's actually. Invalid S string. Stream's too long, but I'm only building. Invalid format string S for type error. So writing out errors can be S. Is it still the same error I get? No. Yes, it is. Okay. Again, I have to scroll up a bit to get the actual error. Invalid string, format string S for type. So it doesn't like outputting errors as strings. I get that. Is that because we don't have... Why don't I get code completion? Please. I want to output the error as a string, so maybe I would be able to have this... like in other languages, we have this toString. Or maybe message or something that actually is a string. So if I could just... Yeah, sorry, I just need some water. Do hydrate, but don't overdo it. That was nice. So let's see. I remember us having this early on in the language reference, where we outputted a lot of different types. But yeah, of course we don't have... Of course we don't. Oh, can I do the type name? That would return a U8, so maybe I could just do this on the error, because I just want to know what error I get. It didn't make any difference. Really? Really? So what if we just do this? Remove. Again, we're spending a lot of time on small details. And I'm just gonna ignore the error. And we're still gonna get an error. Oh no. Really? Error set is discarded. Yes, that's kind of the point. I ask for it to be discarded, so please discard it. If I just type one letter, it still streams too long. Oh, because it's defined by having this one. So yeah, we get an error, a runtime error. And if we set it to 11, build it. It still says it's just too long. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then the new line. So that should be possible. Then we have 10 plus that one, that's 11. Then the buffer is going to be filled. And if we put in 11, the new line becomes the last one, and it shouldn't fit, and we get an error and return that error. I would really like to be able to handle that one and just output which error we got. I feel like this should be the simplest way to do this. Just to write out the error. But what I would like to do is just do a how would you do that? Would you just do a while loop, and while this doesn't fail? Is that how we do it in SIG? Can we do a while doesn't fail? That was, I think we could do this and then capture the name. But then we can only use the name within this. But that is also okay. And then we can do the catching of the error, right? Oh. Was it an else? I know we did a while with error handling. The while true. The catch here is used to provide fallback value, but could instead be a no return, the type of return while true and others. While loops. Yes, there's no... Do we have errors? Errors. So not there, not there. You know what? Let's just jump back to hello world. Yeah, save it. Where it is. And then we're just gonna... Yeah, it does this. I just need a try. Just gonna copy it. It's kind of the last thing we did, so I did remember that we'd done this before. So we have to try to do this, catch the name, else. Didn't say anything about how to handle the error. And then again we have something here that doesn't like something. This is the while test, this is the capture. We do this, we try to output something. If not, we have this else. We're not supposed to have... Oh, I hate it. Either we use semicolon to end something or we do not. And I'm gonna remove the error information here. And just have this. No, I want to build it first and see all my errors once again. Expected optional. Yeah. God. All this error handling. But I get why they want to do it this way. So when an error happens, you are forced to do something about it. But it's also annoying when you just want to do some simple things like this and you are blocked by just syntax and how to do error handling. So I guess error handling is gonna be kind of a thing here. Not the hello world, yes. Hello world. While try to read the buffer, catch bytes read. This outputs a binary, a byte count or an error. but we don't find that anywhere. So why doesn't it want to do this where it outputs either an error or a U8 array? Because we try, what I expect to get out of this is either an error or a U8 array. And if I get the U8 array, it should just capture it and use this. And if not, I would expect it to go to else and have an error. Would this be the way to capture the error? Expected error union type found U8. So this always returns U8, but I have the try, so it should either be a U8 or an error. I know. We are gonna do what we don't do. Why can't I? Let's see. The method reads until it encounters a new line. If the input exceeds the buffer limit, it won't report an error. Instead, it simply stops reading, but we got this out of. We need to ensure that the input solution check the length of the name after reading from standard. If it exceeds your desired length, you can handle this. No, this sounds completely wrong. Yeah, because this doesn't fix anything. This is the exact same setup. So that's one to figure out until next time. Already been at this for about an hour and we didn't get that far just because I wanted to write out, for instance, write your name, take an input from the user. If it's wrong or produces an error, I want to retry, and it's that retry that gives me issues because I can capture the error. We started out by doing that, but then we return out of the program, and I just want to handle the error and retry. But apparently that's giving me a lot of issues. But I'll for sure look into this. And then next time we will fix this and we can move on to bigger things than this, because this is just annoying. But allocators and memory allocation seems to be very, very simple. So that's something I'm looking forward to using. Which allocator to use? I don't know which is the best one, but we'll figure it out as we go along. So for now, I'll stop and upload this to YouTube as always, and comments are always welcome. So have fun until next time. Bye.